Hello, today is 5/28 of 24, and I am here with another video of what I eat in a day. I ate today at around 11 o'clock. I was hungry, and so I ate earlier, not a problem. And then what I had was Taco John's. I had been craving it for a few days, and it just really sounded good. It's okay to eat fast food if you're eating keto, not a problem. Just know what's in it and stay within your bounds. So, what I had was two hard shell ground beef tacos. It has a total of 12 net carbs. There's 14 carbs and 2 fiber. So, a total of 12 net carbs. Not a problem for one meal to have 12 carbs. Now, a if you compare it to the number of calories that I had, it was 360 calories. So not a lot of calories for those 12, net carbs. I can eat a lot more with 12 net carbs, but that's really all I wanted and all I needed. So I am just fine. Yes, my calorie count will probably be a little bit higher today, but I'm not trying to lose weight, number one. And number two, there's no way I'm going to get to the point where I'm like overeating. That's just, it doesn't happen for me very often. So I'm not really worried about it. So tonight, it's actually about 2 o'clock, but I'm not ready to eat. I will probably eat around 4 o'clock. Probably, I've got some things that I have to do this evening, so I need to eat before I do those things. I'll probably eat around 4. But I want to make the cottage cheese wraps that I've seen recipes for, and people have said are really good. So I want to make those now so they have like time to cool and stuff, so that when I make my wrap, they're not hot. I just a hot one just doesn't sound good to me. Maybe they're delicious hot, I don't know, but that's just kind of how it sounds to me right now. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now is I'm going to make those wraps and we'll see how it turns out. The recipe calls for a small sheet pan. I don't have any small sheet pans. So I am using a small 9 by 13 baking dish. And I know that sounds weird because 9 by 13 should be the same size, but they're not. If you really look at the size of pans, you will find that your 9 by 13s are all kinds of different sizes. So this is like my small version of a 9 by 13 pan. I hope this is what I need to use. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, so I'm going to use my little blender thing here, and we need cottage cheese. 1 cup of cottage cheese is what we need. I think this is going to make enough for 2 wraps, but I don't know for sure because I have never made it before. So I'm not positive and I could totally screw this up and you can just laugh at me and that's just fine. All right, so I've got my 1 cup and make a mess with it because that's what I do when I cook. Okay, and get that in there. Kind of trying to get it not right on top of my little stick here. Okay, and I have to clean this up because it'll make me crazy while I'm cooking. All right, and then we need 1 egg. There we go. And then I'll wash my hands because I touched raw egg. And then we add some seasonings. And really, I think the seasonings that you add are totally up to you. I'm going to go by what the recipe said as far as salt. So I'm just going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to add, I'm not exactly sure what kind of wraps I'm going to make today. I've got some chicken, and then I have a ton of green pepper. I had something of a mix up with my groceries. And so I have 8 green peppers in my refrigerator. So I'm thinking I might go with something with green pepper and chicken. So I'm just going to add maybe 1/16 of a teaspoon of some garlic powder and onion powder. So that was my garlic powder, and this is my onion powder. I know you can add all kinds of different things. So this is kind of just, I want it to be almost like just a basic wrap. And then I might change it up from there. Okay, so then I need to put my lid thing on. There we go. And this goes on somehow. There's probably a little trick to it, like right there. Ha! Figured it out. At least that part. There we go. All right. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Okay, I think it looks the way that it is supposed to look. I should have, there it is. And then you're supposed to just pour it into your pan. And I think this may be too small of a pan, but we'll try it out and see, and I'll adjust the recipe if I need to for next time. Okay, and I'm just gonna spread it out as evenly as I can. I'm trying to make it so it's not like really thick in one spot and thin in another, because that just seems like it wouldn't work out very well. And I really feel like this is too small of a pan. But like I said, I'll give it a try. All right, there we go. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this in. The recipe says to bake the wrap for 30 to 40 minutes, so I've put it in for 30 minutes and then I will check it. I'm also going to cook my chicken now because I do want that to also be cold when I go to serve it. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to cut this now. It's going to be enough for both my husband and myself. This is a pretty good size chicken breast. So I'm just going to cut it in half and then I'll just cook it as two separate pieces. Really just so that I can kind of cut down on that cooking time because I want to make sure I have plenty of time for it to also cool. And then I'm going to sprinkle some salt and some ground black pepper. And this is really all I'm going to use to season my chicken. I've kind of been thinking about this as I'm cooking. I think I'm going to make something of like a cream cheese spread to go like inside the wrap and then have some sliced chicken. I'm going to cook the chicken in my air fryer, so I will just get that on and get this in, and I'll be back. So this took 50 minutes. It never really did get brown. Like I've got a little bit of light browning, but it never really got browned, and I didn't want to keep cooking it. Like it's firm, solid, right? But not hard, but just like solid. So I don't know. So I let it cool for a bit, and I am now ready to make my meal. So I want to just cut this because I only need about half of it for my wrap. And I had started kind of trying to peel it off and it's just crumbling. So I don't know that this was very successful. Yeah, let me try the other side, but I don't think this was very successful for me. Nope, it wasn't. So, change of plans. I am going to still eat this. I want to try it at least, right? So I'm going to just take it and kind of peel it apart like this. And maybe if I had let it brown, maybe then it wouldn't. I don't know. I had even sprayed the parchment paper with some nonstick spray to like help with sticking because I had seen other people had issues with sticking. And it just it's like sticking and just falling apart. Maybe I just needed to cook it longer. I'll experiment again, but for right now, this is what I'm going to do. Okay. And then since I'm going to eat it this way, okay, I don't really want sliced green peppers. I want them chopped. So I'm going to go ahead and chop them because it's going to be more like a bowl. All right, so I'll get those in there. And then my chicken also, I will chop up. I got it a little bit overdone, so. All right, so we'll get that in there. And then my plan had been to use some softened cream cheese as like a spread. And I was gonna add some everything bagel seasoning and some chai seeds. I'm not sure if I'm gonna need the spread or not. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add just a teaspoon of chai seeds because there's not really anything here for it to absorb into. I could have probably put it in my wrap. That's a good idea. And then I'll just sprinkle some of my everything bagel seasoning. And then I'm just going to take a bite and see what I think. Okay, so I like it. Um, I think it's because I didn't bake it long enough. Maybe I don't have a big enough pan, like it needed to be thinner, and that's why it would have taken less time to cook. So it is soft, like it kind of has the consistency of cream cheese. So it does have enough moisture in it that I don't need to add like a sauce or anything. I definitely need some more green pepper, but other than that, I think that this is great, and I'm going to go ahead and eat this before all the things I have to do tonight. So I did have a third meal today. I got home late in the evening, around 8 o'clock, and then I had other things that I needed to do. So I didn't record what I as making the dish. But I can tell you what I had. So I had some pepperoni with pizza sauce, and I mixed into the pizza sauce some protein powder and chai seeds. And then I also had with that some, because my calorie count was like way low. I think it was like 520 before this meal. And then I had some of these stuffed mushrooms. We went to Aldi's today, and this is one of the things that I picked up. So I had three of those. They're Giorgio brand, and they were pretty good. The only thing that I would do differently next time is I would put some olive oil or butter or something on the mushroom itself to kind of soften it down a little bit more. It got a little dry. Where and then the top was all toasty brown, and so I didn't want to keep cooking it to kind of soften it more. So and I cooked it in my air fryer. So next time I will do something to kind of help soften up the mushroom a lot, but a bit more. But the flavor was good. I would add salt to it. I didn't add salt, so I should have, and I should have because it needed just a pinch of salt and pepper. But otherwise, the flavor was very nice. It's artichoke, spinach, and cheese is the stuffing. So that really helped to bump up my numbers and get me some more calories in the day. I was feeling tired, and kind of weak. So I'm glad that I ate. So I ended up with 25 net carbs for the day, and that is higher than the 20. That's, kind of my goal. But again, I don't really worry about it very much. I can have up to 50 with no problems. And it was just a higher uh, net carb day for me. Okay, no big deal. And then my fiber was 10.3, which isn't up to that 15. Again, I struggle so much with that. So I'll have to keep working on that and figure out some ways to be able to get some more protein. And then my sodium was 2600, which isn't a lot. It's probably not what I need. I probably need to get to that 3500. But I also need to reduce my sodium intake because I have high blood pressure. So I need to find that right balance of enough salt that I need every day, right, to keep my electrolytes up, but not so high that it's causing me to have blood pressure problems. And if we look at my macros are great. I have 30 protein for like the first time ever. So that's fantastic. And I'm going to continue to work to, bump up that protein, which will help with my potassium intake also. Unless I'm just using the powder. But as far as like eating chicken or other things that have lots of protein in them, beef, rather than pork, then that will help also to bump up my potassium numbers, which will help with the high blood pressure issue. So overall, I think that I've had a really good day for what it was, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow.